effort, and whatnot. My question to you, Mr. President, and I'm glad that we have Dr. Okay, thank you. And I'm glad that we have Dr. Akinwumi Adesina on seat also. In Africa, we are known to commit a lot. We're known to make a lot of promises at high-level events and go back to our countries and decide not to do or do whatever we've promised. So my question this afternoon to you, Mr. President, is how are you, as an admirable president that is so passionate about climate change, and how do you think other African leaders, our presidents in Africa, right, can be more accountable towards their commitment to climate promises, especially on budgeting and financing that goes into their climate efforts back into their countries? So recently we have seen a lot of countries making a lot of commitment and going back and pushing a lot of budget into it, but there is no action that we're seeing. We're just seeing write-ups, we're just seeing words coming out of these leaders. So how do you think that as a leader we can hold you accountable for all of your promises, especially the finances that goes into them? Thank you.
Natalie?
Okay, you have a speech. Go ahead.
The President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency Dr. William Ruto, our guest, and all protocols observed, good evening. I am honored to be here today where we gather to discuss the critical environment challenges in Africa. Africa is our pride and we must protect it. According to the World Meteorological Organization 2021 report, extreme weather and climatic change are undermining human health and safety, food and water security. Africa only accounts for about 2 to 3% of global greenhouse emission, but suffers the most from the results. This must come to a stop. But what is our African narrative about this going forward? Africa is hurting. Africa is bleeding. But unless we mitigate the effects of climatic change, we stand a little chance of fulfilling the UN SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. One thing to stop global warming is the need to stop opening burning of waste for clean oceans, poverty reduction, increase in food security, and provision of decent jobs. Then climate change needs to be addressed soon and urgently. Women and children are the most affected by climate change, according to the Climate Risk Assessment Report, and this even gives me deeper concern for our environment. Ladies and gentlemen, our children are our future, and they must be given a front seat in climate solution discussions. I ran a campaign dubbed My Environment, My Responsibility, and this calls for everyone to be a part of the solution to the climate change in any small way, from picking up candy wraps to planting a tree. Climate solutions calls for a collective responsibility, and we must join efforts to fight this matter. I dream of a plastic-free Africa. I dream of an Africa free from fossil fuels. I dream of a green and clean Africa. I dream of a Wangari Maathai's Africa. To achieve all this, we need to speak in a united African voice, formulate laws and policies to protect our continent, and put it in the work to restore our ecosystem. And in these words of Barack Obama, I will say, yes, we can. I'm Natalie Silantoi, Mini Miss Environment Kenya. May God bless you and may God bless Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalie. Thank you so much. And Your Excellency, Alamin will usher in your closing remarks with his last question.